Thank you so much, our members, all our followers, those who like us, those who have subscribed. I want to thank God so much for you that we have a good number of you who have subscribed to our YouTube channel. And there's so many, there's a big number that is adding on watching our TikTok accounts. And I am so grateful that you people, you have found meaning in these messages. You have found some help, some support. You have picked some idea. Maybe your marriage has been saved. You know, each time we come here, the hope is this, that maybe someone who had packed has unpacked. Maybe some people were even contemplating divorce, they have thought of otherwise. Maybe some people were thinking of separation, they have thought otherwise. And maybe some people were thinking of no more talking together. Enough is enough. I am tired. I'm throwing in a towel. Enough is enough. Whatever has been happening, maybe you have reached at some point and said, because of this message, let me wait another day. Let me give it another trial. Let me wait in again. Let me be patient a little more. So that is the hope that brings us here every day, that the Lord is doing great work in you, that the Lord is ministering to you, and you are picking a word, you're picking a message, you're picking an idea, and you're hearing from God, who is telling you, please, think again, think twice, look at this, and He's there for you. So today again, I have come for you with another yet great message. Maybe I have not shared about this for all this time that we have been here with you, a message about parenting. Yes, I'm sharing a message about parenting. It is a message that maybe many people would shy away from. It's a message that you would not want to be on the front about it. Why? Because almost none of us has been successful about it. Almost none of us has been excellent about parenting. Why? Parenting comes from God. Parenting happens by God. It's God who gives us children, you remember? He's the one who gives us a seed, and the seed is the one who makes it grow. He's the one who gives us children, and therefore parenting. And what is parenting? Parenting is raising, nurturing, and upbringing children. Raising, nurturing, and upbringing children. Simple definition like that. You are raising up. You are helping these people, these young ones to grow. You are helping them to grow. But nurturing them is to make sure, how are they growing? Nurturing, you are trying to answer the question of how are they growing? How are they growing? There are lots of things you have to grow to make sure that you put in place to determine how they are growing. But also upbringing, then you are, raising, nurturing, and upbringing. The process of raising, educating a child from birth to adulthood. The process of raising and educating a child from birth up to adulthood. So we are there raising these children, we are there attending to them, and that is parenting. There are so many definitions. Is one that says that, the biblical way, the one that says that it is a sacred stewardship of raising children to know, love, and serve God. A sacred way, mark that word. It is a sacred way, a sacred stewardship of raising children to know, love, and serve God. Yes, we are here as stewards of God. We are here as stewards of the resources God has given us, the stewards of these children that God has given us. We are bringing them on behalf of God. That is stewardship, that we will give accountability, that will be answerable before God as we raise these children. So make sure that when you raise your children, you will be answerable. You need to be accountable in raising these children. That is the message, dear friends. So godly parenting. What is this godly parenting, dear friends? I want to share with you that, along the way we have had a mix today. There's a lot of modernity that has come to us. There's a lot of .com issues that have come to us. There's a lot of technology that is around us here. And it has mixed what we knew as the right parenting. What we knew as right parenting. Today, for example, even before I wait, today, at what age should a child have a phone? At what age should a child have a computer? At what age should they have an iPad? Today, 3 years of age, you find them at home with a kid's iPad, and they are playing it. Today, by 2 years, as long as the child has come up, they want to access a phone, and they want to operate a phone, they want to run TikTok, and they want to run to those things. Today, our parenting has a lot of mix. Like you have to think so hard, like you have to plan about it. And friends, don't fear it. The problem we are getting is that people fear parenting even before they get there. They think that they are not rightful enough. They feel they are not enough to parent well. They feel they are not enough, to do enough work in their children. But I want to tell you, as long as God has given you children, you are a parent enough. You have enough to parent your children. You have enough to raise, nurture, and upbring your children. You have enough to participate in this sacred stewardship of raising children. Yes, God has blessed us there. So don't fear it. I want to warn you right from the beginning. Believe that you are able. Believe that you are the one who will upbring that child. That child does not have another mother, another father. Sometimes you want to fear even you are the only mother and father of this child. So don't fear it. Take up the job, take up this responsibility, and enjoy doing it. And I want to make it as simple as possible. A lot is happening. There's a lot of exposure that these children are getting outside there, around us here. But I want to tell you, dear friends, choose the what you believe in. You need to have faith in the kind of parenting you're doing. You need to be learning every other time. You need yourself to have a lot of exposure. You need yourself to be equipped and strengthened in parenting your children. You need to be a little faster. You cannot keep where our parents were today in raising up your children. You need to be a little more exposed. You need to have information. You need to know what is happening in the world. You need to know what world do we have tomorrow. The world we are in today is likely to be very different from the world our children are going to have. Yes, it is likely to be that. So, dear friends, I want to challenge you that yes, we can do this parenting very well, and we want to discuss it step by step, slowly by slowly. And I will be mixing a number of scriptures, a number of theories here and there, a number of information that I have picked from this side and the other side. Some of the online platform that I like so much, Psychology Today. Psychology Today, they have done a lot of studies on parenting, a lot of studies on human living, on human behavior, human life. They have done a lot of study, and there are 4 C's that they have brought up for me that can help us in parenting our children. The first C is care. Showing acceptance and affection to your children. As you're bringing up your children, as you bring up these children, what are we expected of? We need to care. We need to care, meaning we need to show acceptance and affection. These children need to know that they are accepted at home. They are accepted by their parents. They are loved. They need to feel that affection. They need to feel like, they need to feel at home. They need to feel this is their best place to be. Their home, their parents is their best place to be. So when you are bringing these children, dear friends, your children need to feel cared for. They need to feel that affectionate love of parental love with the siblings. The environment at home needs to show that affectionate, environment. It has to be there, dear friends. But also, dear friends, the second C is that consistency. We need to maintain a stable environment. We make your home an environment for children to feel free, to feel very okay. Someone was training us and was teaching us that, today when children want to write on your wall, they are beaten, they are mocked, they are abused. You don't want your children to write on your walls, you don't want your children to write on your chairs, but this is their stage of development. You want these walls to be very clean, but for them they are at a stage of writing everywhere. Marking everywhere. So you are going to have a very neat home, a very neat and tidy home. But dear friends, I want to tell you that you are spoiling children. You are doing something in the reverse of what they expect. So have you brought play items at home? Do you have boards where they can write? Do they have a lot of paper and a lot of books where they can write? I'm talking right from the beginning. 2 years, 3 years, I'm talking about that. That's where we are starting from. So create an environment. But also even the teenagers, when you have these adults, these teenagers, dear friends, what kind of environment do they have? For example, are you able to provide privacy at home? Do they have some independence, some privacy in their rooms, some privacy around their home? Do they have that privacy? One of the things that will spoil our children or have spoiled our children, sometimes when they lack that privacy, when they have a lot of control over them, and I'm about to go deep in that, dear friends, when there's a lot of control over them and they don't feel that independence, they will go wrong. They will plan many weird things, many weird things. So the environment, you know, we have talked of the care which brings affection and acceptance. We have talked of consistency in maintaining the right environment for your children, consistent environment. Yes, they need to know this is our home, these are our values, this is how we do things at this home. But also guiding them the choices that they make, you know, the choices that they make, allowing the child to develop autonomy, to develop independence. I know we are about to talk about, you know, these different types of parenting, but dear friends, I want to challenge you. We need to guide these children in making choices, in becoming independence, becoming autonomy in their own lives. I want to tell you, as parents, you have your goals, you have your ambitions that you want to see in your children. You have your expectations you want to see in your children. But I want to warn you and remind you, just to know these children are also born with a purpose. They are also born with goals. They are also born with their own mind. So you need to give them some space as often as possible. So even maybe you want this child to be a doctor, you want this child to be a lawyer. Those are traditional courses. You want these children to be, you know, to be flight engineers. But I want to tell you, dear children, they are also born with ambitions, with goals. So make sure you create an environment, give them enough exposure, and let them make their own choices. Let them make their own choices. Don't repeat the mistake that we have seen in parenting our children. I had a friend of mine, but the parents insisted he must study to be some IT engineering. So ICT also has had a lot of different engineering programs inside. So he did some ICT engineering in South Africa. But when this child came back here after graduation, this child did something totally different. He said that was the cause for my parents, you know, and we have had several cases of that. You know, the children say that was the course that my parents wanted to study, but me, I wanted this. Have you done the right parenting? Have you done the right parenting? So you guide them, you expose them, allow them make their choices, dear friends. Don't enforce on them. They have their goals they are born with. They have their goals they are born with. Maybe at your home you are all engineers, but this child could have been born a teacher, typical teacher. And you know you will force them in engineering, but maybe finally they will end up there, or finally they end up cursing you for forcing them to this. So dear friends, parenting is exposing your children and you allow them to make the right choices. You have cared for them, you have been consistent with the environment you've created for them. Now allow them to make the right choices, dear friends. Allow them to make the right choices. But also the consequences. As you allow them to make the choices, make sure you show them the consequences that come with their choices. Yes, maybe that's what we needed to do very right, dear friends. That, you know, as you expose them, as you open the world for them, as you allow them to make their choices, to be autonomous, to be independent, to have their privacy, you need to show them the consequences of each choice they are making. At one time, my child, we have one boy, 2 girls and 1 boy. So this boy at one time he wanted to make chapatis. He said, if I get money, I will make chapatis and sell chapatis. These chapatis people are making a lot of money. I think we used to buy a lot of chapatis and he saw them making a lot of money. I think he has a lot of business acumen in him. And later he moved on. Now the last time he has had to move to a different place. The last time he said he wants to trade in cars. He wants to be importing cars. When he finishes studies, he will be importing cars. Now such a mind is said already. If you want to force this child to be a doctor, this child must be a doctor. He's telling you of selling chapatis, he's telling you of selling bicycles, he's telling you of selling cars, he's telling you of building an arcade, he's telling you of, you know, trading across countries. He's telling you of trade, and for you are insisting on being a doctor, being an engineer, dear friends. Have you guided this child very well? So mine, it is not to challenge him. You cannot sell chapatis, you cannot sell cars. It needs a lot of money. I've told him that one needs a lot of money. It's like, Dad, it's okay. I'll find where to start from, but I'll be selling cars. So dear friends, I want to challenge you. that, as we bring up these children and as they make their choices, we need also to show them the consequences of what they're doing. When you're going to sell cars, this is, for example, what it will take. If you're selling chapatis, for example, this is what it will take. You're choosing to be a musician, but this is what it will take. You're choosing to do this, but this is what it will take. Show them. They will have to have sleepovers. For example, sleepovers is a common terminology now around us. Sleepovers is likely to bring these consequences. Sleepovers would be good, but show them they are likely to bring those consequences. You are likely to find that strange people, and at night some strange things may happen. You are praying and maybe some strange will happen. So show them the consequences of the choices that they are going to make. But you don't have to stop them. Even when you are controlling that, you don't have to be away from home at night. You don't have to go outside the home alone. What are the consequences are we telling them? Make sure today it should be a discussion of the why. And the whole curriculum has been designed to answer the two questions of the how and the why. For us during our time, it used to be a lot of what. Mention, list. Those were the questions. List, mention, what. But today, there's a lot about the how and the why. Don't touch the fire, why? Don't be on the phone all the time, why? Don't be outside at night, why? Don't have girlfriends at this level, these sexual girlfriends or boyfriends, why? So we need to guide our children in showing them the consequences. Remember, this is psychology today. They've given us the care, they've given us the consistency, they've given us the choices, and they've given us now the consequence that we need to be mindful about, dear friends. So I want to challenge you, dear friends, and remind you that these children, all you need is to create for them, the environment. You remember, even when we look at the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6, is a common scripture that train up a child in the way they should go, so that when they grow up, they will not depart from it. Even when they grow up, they will not depart from this way. Train up a child in the way they should go, and when they grow up, they will not depart from it. So, dear friends, have you trained up your child in a way that they have found it comfortable? They have found it is their own choice. They have found it is their own good. They have found it is their own place. I know one of my child has always talked of being a doctor. And every time I have to show her, to be a doctor, you need to do these subjects. To be a doctor, you need to do these subjects. So put more effort on this, put more effort on this. Now that you are losing on this one, you may not be a doctor. If you want to be a doctor, put more effort on this. So train up a child in that way. Show them the consequences. Show them the consequences of their choices. So let us keep guiding them, training them up in the way of the Lord, that when they grow up, they will not be able to depart from it. So, and remember, these children have their goals, but you need to direct their goals very well. You need to keep showing them the way very well, dear friends, and you need to be there. One of the areas where we are struggling as believers, as parents, is not being able to be present. Not being able to be present, dear friends. Yes, are you present in the life of your child? Are you present in the life of your children, dear friends? Let me tell you, dear friends, some of us, you may be working from very far. Some people may be working and coming home once in a month. They may be coming home after many months, after a year maybe, those who work from abroad. But some of them, they have done parenting better than us who stay with our children daily. Someone works very far and they come once in a year, but they're able to talk to their family almost on a daily basis. They're able to talk to their family, to their children one-on-one. To listen to their children one-on-one, to listen to their ambitions, to listen to their challenges, to listen to their fears, to listen to their efforts. See, what are they looking forward to? Their expectations. They're able to connect with them. So it is not a matter of distance, dear friends. It is not a matter of distance. It is also not a matter of money. Parenting the right way, being available in the life of our children is not a matter of money. It is a matter of being available. It is a matter of being there to care for them. It is a matter of having a listening ear. It is a matter of, walking with them the journey. Some of the mistakes they make, some of these choices they are making, they may be having a lot of mistakes. They will make a lot of mistakes. Will be having some wrong consequences. Some of them you don't need to stop them now. Some of them walk with them and they face the consequences and they learn a lesson. They learn a lesson. You know, most of us who have bought bicycles for our children, you know, don't stop them from falling down. You can't buy a bicycle and you're controlling this child to fall down all the time. The moment you buy a bicycle for your child, you just know they will fall as many times as possible. So guide them, expose them, and let them know the consequences of their choices. I've remembered even last weekend I was at some family and a child rode the bicycle on a very fast speed. This is a child of like 5 or 6 years, 6 years maybe, and this boy fell down terribly. And you know, this don't stop them from having this. These are consequences of life. So dear friends, I want to challenge you that we need to keep doing this as long as we are with our children, guide them in the right way. And also for the teenagers, for these ones who have grown up above 10 years, for them a lot of why is very necessary. Talk to them and explain to the why and let them make their choice when they know the consequences. Don't control them over their consequences, but be able to show them the consequences. Be able to show them the consequences. So that's what I'm challenging you, dear friends. Right now, I think I have a child who is in school and in high school and is doing a French course, a French diploma. As a matter of fact, did I know anything about French? No, I never met it anywhere. But this child now is very passionate about that, you know, very passionate about that. We have a child at home, you know, he's in the English contest. He said I pay for him to participate in the English contest. They want him to go to the district and participate in the English contest. Me, I admired, I desired to be in the mathematics contest, but somehow I never had a chance. So dear friends, expose them and let them make their choices, dear friends. Let them make their choices. Show them the consequences, but let them make the consequences, let them know the consequences. So I want to challenge you. Okay, step number 2. Could there be some bad parenting? Even before I go very far, parenting is a very big topic, so definitely I'll pick on a few. So I want to challenge us, dear friends. Could there be some consequences for bad parenting? Yes, or is there any bad parenting? Over parenting, for example, is a common terminology you need to know. Some parents have done over parenting, over controlling, over their own excessive monitoring and control. You are in trouble. Excessive monitoring and control of our children will not give you a good product of our child. You want to remove every obstacle from the way of your child. You want to make sure they walk through a very clean, a non-obstacle life. Obstacle-free life. That should be the right English. Obstacle-free life. You want to make sure your child, always the school fees is paid on time. Whatever they ask at home, you give them. They want a yogurt, you send a maid to come run and bring a maid. They bring a yogurt to their home. They ask a minute maid. They ask this. They ask this door from this door for this iPad. They want another version of iPad. They want another version. Dear friend, is that over parenting is dangerous. The results, I want to tell you, wait for your time. Wait for your time. I know, and this has been the drive on this, you know, to feel like I don't want my children to suffer like I suffered. That's a common statement. We suffered because there were no resources. Why should my children suffer? At the age of 10, your child cannot wash his or her own school uniform. Terrible! 10 years of age and your child cannot wash their own uniform. Even their boxers, their knickers, they cannot wash them. That's terrible, dear friends. No, that's bad parenting. Over parenting is terrible. They cannot lay their beds. The maid has to lay for them their beds, has to wash for them everything, including their knickers, and has to iron for them, has to pack their school bag for them, has to pack it for them. You know, in the boarding, you must make sure you facilitate even the metro to make sure he gives the over parenting that you used to give. What is that, dear friends? That is trouble. That is trouble, dear friends. You know, over parenting harms worse, no parenting. You know, too little parenting also. There are those who also have offered too little parenting. They are not there. They are not there. They are like, I don't care. You know, they don't mind about the outcomes. They are doing little parenting. They are never at home, never in the life of their children, never involved in the life of their children. The children are growing up almost like orphans, even when the parents are there. So friends, I want to challenge you. Over parenting is terrible, but also little parenting is bad parenting. It's also terrible. So I want to challenge you. And the children are depending on peer culture. They're just depending on their neighbors, their friends, their what, or they have had to learn from their neighbors and their friends because their parents are never there in their lives. The parents are never guiding them. They are never showing them direction. They are never present in their lives. Dear friends, you need to be present. You need to be present. Let me tell you, when I go for visitation at our schools, right away from when I go for visitation for a child, I open every book. I go in every book and I turn page after page and I check the handwriting. I check how the teacher has been attending to his or her work. I check the progress. I find in English he writes different from the way they write in science. This one writes different in literacy one, different from the way they write in literacy two. So I check all those things, being involved in the life of your children. And when I do that, we set expectations, me and them. This time you have scored 60, next time can we score 70? This time you've scored 70, next time can we score 80? This time you've got 11 points, next time can we get like 6 points? Something like that. So dear friends, I want to challenge you. Little parenting is also dangerous in our time over the harsh. So the other thing is that, when you're talking about over parenting or little parenting, this one also, it comes about how we have been brought up as parents, dear friends. How we've been brought up and what we believe about this parenting. These things of authoritarian parenting, authoritative parenting, permissive parenting, uninvolved parenting, uninvolved this like too little parenting. So be involved in the life of your children. Be involved, dear friends. Be involved, dear friends. Authoritarian is dangerous. Authoritarian, you are emphasizing on the rules and regulations too strict, where the father comes home and everyone scatters. Not even a cup can fall down when the father is around. Not even a spoon should fall down when the father is around. So that is authoritarian and it is very dangerous. On the other side, authoritative is good. Authoritative, you are giving guidance and a firm guidance, a firm decision. You are firm on your choices, you're firm on your values as a family. So dear friends, I want to challenge you. Being authoritative is good, but be having a mixture. Having a mixture is what has been found to be best of all this that we are talking about. Having a mixture, not only permissive, not only authoritative, not only authoritarian, but having a mixture of these, it can help your children. Because you want to take a firm decision, a firm choice, a firm direction when you are guiding your children, for example, on the values for our family. On the values for our family. And therefore, that's where I'm going. That when you're bringing up these children, we have expectations we have in them. Even when we have accepted, they also have goals and they also have a personality to pursue. But I want to challenge you, dear friend, that we also have to set up a clear guide on the values we expect in these children. Let me read for you Proverbs chapter 31, the sayings of King Lemuel, an inspired utterance his mother taught him. Listen, my son, my womb. Listen, my son, the answer to my prayers. Do not spend your strength on women, your vigor on those who rule kings. It is not for kings, Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, not for rulers to crave beer, lest they drink and forget what has been decreed and deprive all the oppressed of their rights. So dear friends, those are some of the things a mother is teaching her child. A mother is strict and firm on what is right and what is wrong. So as we bring up these children, dear friends, we need to have a balance. We need to show them the values that can help them grow well in life, that can help them prosper in life. We have been here longer than them, and they need to know. You need to be very clear with them that you have been here longer than them. There are lots of things that that are likely not to change. They are likely not to change. Yes, you need to be very clear with them. Some time back, I was talking to our teenager at home, and we were discussing about this and this, and she told me, Dad, that is how you do your things, but for me, this is how I do my things. It is okay, but I will show you the consequences. It is okay, I will show you that from my elders' eyes, I know when you take this route, it will end up on the other side. So what are these some of the values that we are teaching our children? We have said we expose them. So one of them I want to tell you, we need to help our children to be very hardworking. The world we are in needs people who are hardworking. Make sure your children are hardworking right from home. I like this curriculum that gives hands-on, work, hands-on experiences and expertise in what children are doing, projects, that involve the stretching of the head, of the mind, and the children are able to develop this and the other. Not googling all the time, not, on cartoons every time. No, this type of cartoons, dear friend, is not the best for us. It's not the best for us. But I was also thinking about the TV. I was remembering, you could have seen your people, so the other people have TV in a sitting room, you also want TV in a sitting room, or they have it in some special room, and you also want to have it in a special room. But let me tell you, dear friends, have you known the controls these people have put in place? Did you know, for example, a friend of mine was telling me each of their children has a phone. These are P7 and P6 and the senior 3 children. They have a phone, but the issue is, when this dad is not here, he is able to monitor whatever they are watching on their phones. Have you been able to do something like that? Or you are just believing that every child must have a phone? Some people are able to monitor whatever their children is accessing on their iPad. Even when they are away, they can know what their children are accessing, and they've put control that if you want to go extra, the iPad will refuse, will not allow. Some things have been deactivated, some things have been, deactivated, some things have been, removed. But for you, just buy an iPad and you bring and you give your children. And you're like, no, children are right. They should have a phone. They should have data. They ask for data all the time and you give them. Therefore, are you able to monitor what they're watching? You could be seeing every child having an iPad, but do you know the control some parents have been able to put in that you will have an iPad, but it is controlled over this and this and this? Not in words, but by locking some apps, some designs, some content. So even the TV. Some people have TVs in their homes, but I tell you, some things have been locked up, have been deactivated. So have you guided your children in that? Have you done the right parenting, dear friends? So teach your child to be hardworking. That's one of the values that I want to share with you, dear friends. To be caring, to be kind, to appreciate, to be appreciative, to be result oriented, to community and social care, to be loving, to have patience. Teach your children to have these values, dear friends. They are values for an upright man, an upright woman. We are struggling. We have a breakdown in our time, in our generation, in our people. People are weird. People are doing crazy things. Every time they are thinking of suicide, they are having a lot of suicide thoughts. If you went in high schools and you did a research to ask how many children have had suicidal thoughts, you would be shocked. You would be shocked how many children have had suicidal thoughts. I went for a parents' day for my child in high school, and the administration was telling us, you inconvenience these children on something little, and they think of cutting themselves, they think of damaging their bodies. They get the sharp things and they begin damaging their bodies. That is how terrible it is. So have we showed them about the value of life? That life needs care, needs a kind of character, life needs patience, life needs obedience. Dear friends, and lastly, dear next friends, I want to challenge you. Make sure that your children, you become a friend to your child. I'm a friend to your child. You being a parent is one thing, but you also need to be a child. And later I want to tell you, you need to balance the two. Being a friend to your child. That these children, there are some confessions they will make to you. There's some communication and some engagement they will make with you. And you realize this one, my child is making it with me because I am a friend. Because we are friends. Some kind of communication, these children will not make them to you because you are just a parent and not a friend. So if you want this one to be a friend, dear friends, I want to challenge you. You need to be a friend to your child. When my child calls me from school, when I meet them, there's some discussion we do, and I know this one, we are doing it because we are friends. We are friends. So, dear friends, I want to challenge you that we need to be friends. But also don't forget to be a parent. Some people have become friends and have emphasized and gotten lost there in being a friend only. And have forgotten that they also need to be a parent who should be firm with their decision, firm on their choices, firm on the direction they are making for their children. Yes, firm on the direction they're making for their children. So let them learn, other dear friends, that a tree grows from a seed. That is patience, dear friends. They need to wait for certain things to grow. They need to give time to certain things. They can't be now and in their primary six and they are thinking, they want to have a shop. They want to start driving. They want to start driving. So teach them these values, dear friend. Life values of being excellent. excellence, dear friends. We need to teach our children to have this excellence in whatever they are doing, in their classwork, in their family life, in their social life with their neighbors and their friends. They need to have a value of excellence within them. They may not be perfect, but they need to have a message of excellence in them. In whatever they're doing, they need to have this excellence, dear friends. Finding fulfillment in the innovation and discovery. Let them know to be as innovative and on discovery all the time as early as possible. You get a lot of fulfillment in your life because you have done a lot of innovation, you have done a lot of discovery yourself, and you are blessed because of that, dear friends. So make sure you are able to find a lot of fulfillment in innovation and discovery, in respect for each other. Exposure to technology. What are you learning from this exposure to technology? Are you appreciating serving God? Take your children to church. My children, as early as possible. I remember in all holidays, they're always going to church for church programs. I know there's the first child, when I used to make sure he's dropped at school at 7 in the morning as I'm going to work, and I have to make sure to find a way how to come back at 4 to come and pick this child, to make sure he's at church all the time. They were engaging them. So make sure you engage your children in serving God as hard as possible. Today, one of them is in choir, one of them is ushering in the age of 10 years, another one is serving in some ministry also at church. We are also, their mother is serving somewhere, their dad is serving somewhere. We are all in ministry. So have you exposed your children to be in service of God? Let them appreciate the service of God all the time. Have an altar at home where you hold hands and pray together all the time. Call on God and believe in Him all the time, dear friends. We need to do this parenting right. We need to guide them in the Word of God, and we need to keep praying for them. May the good Lord bless you, dear friends. May we keep in touch and do the right parenting the Lord chooses for us. God bless you. Bye-bye.